Hello and welcome. You're watching NewsX and I'm Vaishali Kohli. Now, as PM Modi and President Vladimir Putin prepare to meet in New Delhi for the 23rd India-Russia Annual Summit, all eyes are now on this meet and the discussions that will come forth from it. From launching India's first satellite half a century ago to jointly training Gaganyaan astronauts today, the India-Russia space story has defied geopolitics and sanctions. Let's take a rewind on how this journey had begun. So let me take you through that, viewers. All of those details, of course, a very, very important meet there. And now India-Russia space ties is what we're talking about. Now the 1960s to the 70s is the period we're discussing. The cooperation starts. Soviet Union launches India's first satellite Aryabhata in 1975. So we're going to take you through that interesting trivia and facts today. 1979 to 88. Now, the launches, of course, Bhaskara 1 and IRS-1A, which is remote sensing satellites. So that's, of course, what's happened during that period. 1984, now Rakesh Sharma becomes first Indian in space on Soyuz T-11. Very interesting there, viewers. We've, sometimes we forget about these facts, but it's interesting to go through them again. Now, 1990s to 2000s, Rakesh Sharma becomes first Indian in space on Soyuz T-11. And now, of course, can we have the next slide, please? 2010s, of course, cryogenic engine tech transfer, joint Chandrayaan-2 proposal in 2019. So that's, of course, what's happening there. And now in 2020s, Russia trans Gaganyaan astronauts 2021 tech protection agreement is what we've spoken about here. All right, viewers, of course. So this is a very, very important visit. And all eyes, of course, are on it. You know, this visit, Putin and Modi meeting is very, very crucial. There are very, very important points that are going to be discussed, and every eye, of course, everybody's eyes are on it. And it's very interesting to see, viewers, because there are various countries, when you talk about Germany, France, you know, their reactions that have come into this visit. Of course, there has a lot which has been brewing there. And of course, it's said that there are some countries in the West who are not very happy about this visit and are all wondering what's going to really happen here. So, of course, for India, it's a very crucial time, and we're going to be getting you all those details on NewsX. And I do have my guest joining me on the broadcast, Dr. Venkateshwara Sharma, who's a former Deputy Director, ISRO. Now, Mr. Sharma, I want to begin by asking you, all eyes, of course, are on the Modi-Putin visit. The Modi-Putin interaction that is happening, of course. How do you see this?
Good afternoon to you and good afternoon to million viewers of NewsX. It's a great moment that the two leaders are meeting, namely the President of Russia, Putin ji, and Prime Minister of India, Narendra Modi ji. Look, the interaction between ISRO and the space agency of Russia dates back to 1972, when Russia announced that they are going to take a payload from India for the launch of the satellite. In 1972, 340 kg satellite Aryabhata was launched by Russia. From there, the space program and the interaction with Russia has started. After that, several satellites were launched by Russian space agency, namely IRS-1A, IRS-1B, IRS-1C, etc., and also IRS-1D. And further, the cryogenic engines had been given by the Russian agency. 8 cryogenic engines were given to us, and we used those 8 cryogenic engines and launched several of our satellites. Okay, and actually we were supposed to have got the technology for the cryogenic engine, but the technology was denied because of the political reason. Nevertheless, India developed its own cryogenic engine, and we are, on Atmanirbharta view that we are self-sufficient in terms of the cryogenic engine for up to 4,500 kg payload to be lifted to GTO. This is the fact of the interaction between Russia and India, and further Russia is helping India in terms of Gaganyaan, training the astronauts of the Gaganyaan. We have chosen 4 Gaganyaan in 2019, and they have been thoroughly trained in our own training program in Bangalore. And nevertheless, the training at Roscosmos, Russia, had also been extremely useful. 2021 to 2022, we had sent our astronauts to Russian Roscosmos for the astronaut training center, and they were thoroughly trained. And one of them was sent to ISS. Subhanshu Shukla ji was sent to ISS, and he was successfully completed the mission, and with rich experience he has come back. The interaction and the interface continues with Russia and India in terms of further cooperation in the space, and further in terms of making the crew module and the service module also, and also the crew escape systems, etc. Russian help is very essential, and Russia is offering their help towards realizing all these goals. And the saga continues. The interaction between, as I said, between Russia and India is more than 4 decades, and it is very, very strong and continued. And also, we are looking at the possibility of taking semi-cryogenic engines from Russia. So, with these developments and many more activities to come in terms of the exploration to Venus, exploration to landing on the Mars, and also landing on the Moon, definitely the technology and technical expertise of Russia will be really useful for India. More than all that, the Prime Minister of India has declared that India will have its own BSS, that is the Bharat Space Station, by 2035 and 2040, and it will be really rich experience that Russia has gained in terms of launching and maintaining ISS for last 30 years. That experience will be useful for us in terms of making our own Bharat Space Station and taking our astronauts as part of human space program into the space and beyond. I think the sky is the limit and beyond, I should say, between India and Russia as far as space technology and space interaction and the space interface is concerned.
And Dr. Sharma, now the cooperation between the two countries also extends to propulsion engineering and things like remote sensing, space science. What more can you tell our viewers about that?
Look, as far as Indian remote sensing is concerned, it was Russia that it launched 3 of our satellites into orbit, that is IRS-1A, IRS-1B, and IRS-1D. We successfully helped mapping and geological survey, oceanic survey, and resources management, etc. And these were the first satellites which were done by ISRO and launched by Russia by their own, by Soyuz vehicle. Before actually we started launching with our own launch vehicles such as PSLV, GSLV, and SSLV, etc. Before that, we were completely dependent on Russia, and their help is really memorable, that we still have those satellites in orbit which are functioning. This is one part. Second part is, as far as the propulsions are concerned, actually we have as I said, the cryogenic propulsion engines, which is an extension of the engines what was supplied by Russia in terms of the cryogenic technology, but we didn't get the technology, but we developed our own engine. But definitely the help and the guidance in terms of testing and in terms of making them more reliable was really helpful. This is second. Third part is that in terms of propulsion, we are looking at semi-cryogenic engine, which is under development in the country. So the semi-cryogenic engine is supposed to be much more efficient than the fully cryogenic engine, and also more economically viable alternative. Therefore, that technology, if Russia is able to help us in terms of supplying of those engines or supplying of the technology or supporting our development in terms of mastering the technology, testing, and making it more reliable, will be really a great achievement for this country, and for both the countries put together. It will be a milestone to reach in terms of having another alternative to going hand in hand with Russia, complementing their effort and our effort, so that we complement them and supplement them, and they supplement us in our own effort. So this type of interface and interaction between the two major space-faring nations we must remember that India is one of the 4th nations in the world which is in the space arena, and which is contributing significantly in the space activities and the space programs. Therefore, I would say that the interaction between the two countries, namely Russia and India, to take forward the next, next generation satellites, next generation rocket, next generation space exploration, will be, looking forward to between the two leaders who are meeting shortly in Delhi to take forward many of those activities between the two countries, and one of them is the space activity.
All right, Dr. Sharma, thank you for joining me on the broadcast.